Well, it's just about 9 o'clock, and here's a look at what's coming up on Good Day New York. The city taking steps to help people cope with the extreme heat. Plus, we'll tackle the problems of head lice. This is something, if you got kids in summer camp, and if you're probably going to have to deal with, well, what you need to know if your child gets lice.
Well, a lot of kids are heading off to summer camp. They may, in fact, already be there.
Right. My two children are there. And
did you know about this problem, though?
I do know about this problem.
Come home with lice, Lisa.
A lot of kids end up getting lice at summer camp, and it's not just summer camp. A lot of them get them at school. I mean, my kids both had lice during the school year a couple of years ago, and it was the first time. I never had lice as a child. It was the first time I was really, I unfortunately had to get familiar with lice, and our next guest actually knows something about lice. She had a similar situation, and actually, you've developed your own business, right? This is Chris Bonanno. She's here right now. She's a mother. She's a trained, what do you call it, a lice therapist? Is there such a thing?
We're trained head lice removal specialists.
All right. And the group is called Fairy LiceMothers.
Yes, it's me. I'm one of the partners. There were three of us. It's myself, my partner Michelle, and my partner Carol. The three of us were friends, and it was running rampant in our school.
Because once one child gets
Absolutely.
It's so easy for every other child to get it. And I think what we don't realize is, like my daughter has long hair. She shares her brushes with her friends. And tell us just a little bit about lice. We got to put the yuck factor aside for a second.
Well, yeah, lice is a human parasite. It can't live on pets. That's one of the questions that we're asking. Can it live on pets? No, it can't live on pets. Strictly a human parasite. And there's such a social stigma that goes with lice, that it's dirty, that people who get it have poor hygiene habits. And I have to say, parents, if your child contracts lice, it has nothing to do with hygiene. It's no reflection at all on
And it has
parents.
nothing to do with hair washing either.
Absolutely not. In fact, they prefer cleaner heads. I mean, after the bugs prefer cleaner heads. They're making their families on these heads, so they want a nice, clean environment to raise their families.
Lisa mentioned not sharing hairbrushes. What else can you do to try to prevent lice?
Well, there's a bunch of things you can do. You can educate your children. Don't share hairbrushes. Don't share hair accessories. For the little boys, I see my son doing it all the time, sharing bike helmets, baseball helmets. Educate your children. Explain to them that they shouldn't be sharing these things. And really, the most important thing is early detection. When you get lice, you get it from coming in contact with someone. So there's really nothing that you can do to prevent it other than using certain sprays, telling little girls to put their hair up, things like that. The bugs don't like certain smells. But you have to get it early. If you don't get it early, it becomes a widespread infestation.
And what should you look for? Is it? It was the school who called me. They did routine lice checks.
Right.
And they had called me. I hadn't even noticed any symptoms in particular.
It's very difficult to detect. And what you're looking for, you're not looking for the bugs so much as you are the nits, which are the eggs. The bugs are very fast and they camouflage themselves, so it's very unlikely that you're going to see an actual bug. So what you want to look for are the nits. Now, the nits are kind of distinctive in that they glisten, as opposed to dandruff that just kind of flakes away. So if you flake at your child's hair and it kind of moves away,
Is this what it looks like? Are those the nits?
That's an actual nit.
So that's what we would see with the human eye? These little black things?
Yeah, they come in different colors. Sometimes they're black. More likely than not, they're sesame seed colored, and they glisten on the hair strand. And most importantly is, if you see something that you think might be a nit, run your fingers down the hair strand. If it feels like a speed bump and it doesn't move, the key is it's not going to move. It is glued to that hair strand.
Almost like a tick in a way, that it just wants to stay there.
It is absolutely glued there, and the only way to get rid of lice is to remove the nits.
And they don't jump, right? They crawl from one hair strand to the other.
Head contact, right? They don't jump, they don't fly. That's another misconception. People think your whole home can be infested and they're flying all over. Couldn't be further from the truth.
So if your child comes home with lice, you don't have to worry about it infesting the entire home, but you would certainly have to worry about other family members getting it.
You have to worry about other family members. We recommend checking everyone in the family, and if you want to, you can treat everyone in the family as long as you're using the right products to treat it, the non-toxic products. What we recommend after a treatment is just go home, vacuum your carpets, vacuum your upholstered furniture, wash any bed linens, towels, things like that. The thing to remember is the bugs do not live off of your head for more than 24 hours. People get so caught up in cleaning their homes and delousing their homes when in fact your house can't be infested with it.
All right, Chris Bonanno, we have to leave it there. She's a co-founder of Fairy LiceMother, and you got involved with this after your kids came home from school with lice. And you say that this is really common. Lisa, you said your
Yes.
kids had it. So,
yes, they did.
This is
I
really
was thinking my
something
head itchy.
I know.
for something for parents to take notice of. Thank you. Well,
All
for
right,
more
thank you,
information
Chris.
on how to treat lice and Chris's company, Fairy LiceMothers, you can go to myfox5.nyc.com. Just click on the Good Day tab.